everybody, and welcome to Toffee Bluecast match reaction. This will be not an easy one, but it's something that we've got to do. And Paul, the host, is on with me, so he'll help me through, Mr. Positive. No, we need boosting back up. We do. And one thing I will say is just sometimes we all love Everton, and I talk about them every single day, but try and separate yourself from Everton when you get results like this. Like just go for a nice day out, a nice walk, and just refocus. That's what I've just done. I've gone for a nice beach walk down the beach, come back down, got in. I'm ready to go again. Now, me and Paul, we're going to analyse the game. That's what we do. We're going to put pictures on the screen. We want your thoughts in the comments. Stick with us. We'll make it nice and quick for you. We'll go for it quick, make it interesting, but we'll give you a really good insight of the game, of what went right and wrong. Because the thing is, we say what we think is going to happen before the game. So we might as well analyse what actually has happened in the game. So that's what we're going to do. That's what we've got to do, whether we like it or not. So we're going to go for every goal, chances, how we played, and then just finish on a high. How are we doing, Paul? You all right?
Yep. Anyone remember when we did post-match against from the Newcastle game? Oh God, last season. That was a low point. That was, wasn't it? This feels similar. We're only 2 games in. It feels similar already.
We even boosted Jamie back up.
We can do it. We did. We can do this. Come on. We can boost everyone back.
I've just seen now Emma Davis. I can't wait for Dan to put a positive spin on this. I will, but I'll be honestly, because I'm not going to lie to you, right? This is why it's good that we do it a day after. Because some people go on, give a reaction, go fuming, get loads of entertainment on it. But I don't want to look like an idiot fuming. I went on a space straight after. Someone I know asked me to go on, recorded. And I was fuming, I was. And now I feel different to what I felt like on the space. I'm still fuming, by the way. I'm not going to say that it was right. I'm not. I'm going to analyse this properly. But I just won't start. We'll see how it goes. Let's get through this then. Let's just get this on the screen. Let's get through it. Let's get to work, Toffies. Tell us what you think, by the way. We need you in the comments as well. It's not just what me and Paul think.
Let's do it.
It's what you think. Let's have a proper look at the game. You can't move forward if you don't frigging look at things properly. So I've got all the stuff on the screen. You know how we work. We put it on the screen. Here we go. I'm going to start with just a little conversation before I put the stuff on the screen, though, Paul. We didn't start this game good. I knew straight away. I knew we was in trouble, you know. I really did, because there was a moment, I haven't got this on the clip, but there was a moment where Lucas Digne freaking ran down the left, whipped a cross in, and I just thought, oh my God, we haven't come out the blocks here. We're in trouble. I knew from minute one, honestly, I just knew that we hadn't come out right straight away, because the pendul's back, and the commentators did say Aston Villa have come out good here. And I generally think it was because we come out bad. I mean, they could say they come out good, but you can't let them just jump on you like they did. I know we do it sometimes, but it was just bad.
Unusual setup, wasn't it, really? James Garner on the right-hand side of midfield was really tucked in. Dina was getting down the left-hand side.
We said don't do this, didn't we? We said don't do it.
I think we said as well that there was noticed that there was a stat probably about after half an hour, maybe 35 minutes. Dina had got 6 crosses in already just from the left. It was just crackers how much space we actually gave him, and Patterson couldn't stop those crosses going in. Not that, any of the goals actually came from a situation like that, but it's stopping those dangers, isn't it?
There's a lot of stuff I'm going to put on the screen that was affected by that area, and I tell you something, I am fuming. I'm still not happy with it. Now, when I look at it, I will be fuming, but we've got to look at it properly. And this was, like I say, they had that chance. Jamie said that they will attack us down the wings. Now, we sit back. If they're going to attack us down the wings, put pressure on their players on the wings. We know how much Lucas can cross the ball. We do.
Yeah.
We know he can win. If you let him cross that ball in unpressured, he's going to put it on Aston Villa's player's head, whether he's 4 foot or 6 foot. He is one of the best crossers of the ball, no matter what people say. I know he is.
Yeah.
I've seen what he's like for us. And Cash, I'll tell you something, on the other side, he's got a cross on him as well. That's what they like doing. They like crossing the ball in. Jamie said we'll force them out wide, but we'll be able to defend can we defend their crosses with Michael Keane and Tarkowski? Now, Sean Dyche has obviously played Keane and Tarkowski thinking we'll force you out wide, put crosses in, we'll be safe. But you can't just let them put crosses in. You've got to put more pressure on them on the crosses because you're not safe. And we wasn't. Now, this is the first goal, Paul. This fumes me. I've had to go through this and it hurts. I'm not going to lie, because if you look at the position there, we've got around, look at picture 1, how many players we've got around him crossing the ball there.
Yeah.
You'd think that you wouldn't let him get in the position of number 2. Now, look at number 1. Look, he's got 3 players there around him. Iwobi to stop him from cutting in on his left foot. And he's got 2 players he's got to get past. You'd think that 1 would stop him from going round the outside like he's done. And you think 1 would go the other side. It's just bad. It's just bad. And then, like I say, picture 1, for him to get to picture 2 and go round on both and have that much time on the ball, for me, that's disgusting. And I've pointed this out with the arrows here. Look at picture 2. Look where McGinn is, right? Would you say that McGinn there, Paul, you'd say he's safe there? You'd say we've got him, wouldn't you?
Yeah, I mean, he's doing, he's coming across. So you're seeing number 2 where.
But why are we not following him?
I think it's James Garner possibly at that point who's got his arm on McGinn. He's the one who was following across. When McGinn gets alongside Keane, then what's happened is that Garner's left him. He's thought, right, he's going across Keane. Keane will have this. But there was no communication in that. It was so quick. There was no way Keane could have reacted. But also as well, there's really bad body positions in so many of these situations. In so many, just picking out certain players, they're just facing the ball. They're not aware of anyone around them at all. And they're not really picking up a particular man. They're almost acting zonally on an attack, which you can't do. And McGinn's, got across and no one's followed him. So that's why he's got a free shot.
I just think that, like, you've just analysed that pretty good. But I just think you can see McGinn's going to come across when the player's going to cross the ball. One of our players, like you've just said, if you pass him on, you've got to shout, Kino, grab him. We played football. That's what you've got to do. You've literally got to shout, it's yours, or you stay on him no matter what. When they're crossing the ball in that position that they're in, you have got to be 100% switched on, because you know you're going to concede if you get anything wrong around that box. So you've got to go in turbo mode and say, right, we've got to stay switched on as defenders. You've just said the body positions, all of them are looking at the ball. They should be having the arms around the player, letting the player feel them, being tight to them, and literally stopping that player from doing what he wants to do. They've got to let the attacking player there, McGinn, know he's there. Someone should have their arms on McGinn, not fouling him, but just stop his run. Give him a little body check on the run. You don't get penalties for that. And that's common stuff for me. And this, like I say, it's just so simple. It's like when you watch this goal, I can't put the actual video on. I wish I could for you people. But when you watch this goal, it's just like there's no Everton players in the box. We do nothing. We've got 2 players there that can slide and stop him from getting the crossing. He should never get that crossing, by the way, with those players there. Never. It should go out for a corner, always. He just should be that tight to him. He should not be able to get a crossing like he does. And the fact he puts it to McGinn's feet shows how bad we defend him. And then when he just literally, McGinn makes that one movement and we don't pick McGinn up, it's wrong in so many ways for me. It's just frustrating, isn't it, Paul?
There's a long list. There's a long list. I mean, if you look at number 1, the Villa guy who's on the edge of the area, that's Diaby. Diaby is actually before that still. Diaby's run 35 yards with the ball, which is one just inside of our half, and then just gone forward. And what we've done as a side, what we've done collectively, if you like, those 4 players who are there, Young, Iwobi, it looks as though it's Garner Gay as well. We've all backed off. And then on the edge of the area, Diaby's played it to the right-hand side and given it to Bailey. Now, there's 2 things there. Ashley Young, playing left-back, is, well, First of
I've got a
all,
lot of
he's
stuff of him getting
predominantly
caught out.
right-footed, but also as well, if you're going to show him down that outside, you've got to stick with him, and you've got to make sure that, he's got to make sure that he's got enough space to keep up with him if he does go down that outside. Alternatively,
He's got
just
someone behind him.
Young is Tarks. So Tarkovsky. Yeah. He is, yeah. Tarkovsky is just behind. Like, Ashley Young is the closest to the ball there for us. And then behind him is Tarkovsky. Now, Bailey's going to go down the right-hand side, as he does in picture 2. And it's almost like Tarkovsky is backed off to the edge of the area, right? You can see him just in the middle of picture 2 there on the 6-yard line. And for some reason, I don't know why, he has gone all the way across to the line. You can see it in 3 there, bottom left-hand side. And he slid. He doesn't need to slide. There was no reason to sort of make a last-ditch slide across. If he stands his ground in that particular area, then he's going to get something on it. And it was just really frustrating. It's one thing after another. Now, the thing is, there's going to be lots of people, based on what happened after this with the other goals, who are going to have a go at Keane. I don't think that's Keane's fault, to be honest. You could say that
I've grilled him. I have grilled him.
Well, you could say that he should be over more, maybe, to the near post, but that's where Tarkovsky was. I think the person who should be going with McGinn is James Garner, because what he's done, if you look at where he is in picture 2, he stays there in picture 3. McGinn doesn't do that. McGinn carries his run right across and he gets a first-time shot, and that's where they get their goal. If Garner is tighter to McGinn and holds on to him, or he's side by side with him, then he should be the one who should be with Garner in picture 3. Not 5 yards behind him.
Centre-backs sometimes can save you, though. Do you know what I mean? Tarkovsky does it sometimes, where centre-backs can just save them. Like you say, Garner's a big part to play in this. Don't leave your players. There's a couple of moments here. We're going to go through a lot. We're going to go through it fast. But Garner, like you say, left him. But your centre-backs there, when he gets left in that position, for me, where are your centre-backs there in picture 3? You've got to cover it. You've got to be better than that. I just feel Keane causes a confusion. Yeah, I feel Keane causes a confusion with Tarkovsky. I honestly think he brings players down. I do. And I just, when you watch a lot of it as well, it's just, I think a lot switch off around him. I'd love Branthwaite to be in here to see if he had something different onto the centre-backs. But that's that goal. We're 1-0 down early. What are you thinking at this point? I'll put the next clip on.
Oh, God. Well, it didn't feel like very long, did it, to be honest? I mean, it was it was
18 minutes that was, and then the next goal was 24 minutes. This won't be nice, people, but keep dropping your comments. We will put your comments on the screen. If you want to comment on the clips we're putting on, then we'll drop your insight on what you thought of what happened as well, because we want to get like a good insight of analysis on this game. Now,
this is the
if
penalty.
you look at. Yeah, but if you look again, it's from the right-hand side. This is why I go all the way through now to put everything again. Look, there's no pressure on that cross. There's no pressure on that cross. And if you look on the second, do you know the first arrow I've done on the right there, Paul? That's for no pressure on the cross on picture 1. Yeah. The arrow behind it, there's 3 players there to get 3 Everton players, not even in the box. Like, they're literally that second arrow in picture 1, there's 3 Everton players holding each other's hand, not defending. And then if you actually look and count the numbers, they've got 1 extra player in our box, and there's 3 players on the Everton players on that second arrow. And I generally feel like that's just bad defending itself, because you've got to be, when you're letting him put a cross in that easy, which we shouldn't do, by the way, because Cash has got a good cross. When you're letting him put a cross in that easy, you should have not 3 players there. They should be in, player on player. Player on player. But then when you move to like picture 2, look at them both together, and no Everton players ran 2 of them. 2 of those players could have headed that ball in picture 2, by the way. And then picture 3, you look at it, that's just bad defending, isn't it? And he heads that, and then he heads it across goal, and then number 4 is where the penalty happens. Obviously, you shouldn't be giving a medal like that. He can head that to Watkins easy there, and he does. And then obviously, I think the penalty was stupid. I just think you don't touch him nowhere near as much as the commentators say. It probably is a penalty because it's clumsy, but he doesn't touch Watkins. Watkins has the shot before he takes him out for me, if you know what I mean. We've seen this with Onana. Onana literally got none of the ball and clattered a player and got nothing, Man United. But it probably, what do you think? Do you think it was a penalty? People in the comments, do you think it was a penalty?
I think it's the reaction from Watkins which gets the penalty. He might have gone to VAR afterwards, but he's not touched him with his arms.
No, he doesn't touch him much at all. I've watched it loads. He doesn't touch him much.
He doesn't touch him apart from with his foot, and it's on his foot. But the ball at that point had gone high up in the air and stuff. When you look at others that have been given,
everything else said didn't touch him.
The others that haven't been given for far more contact, there's no consistency, but we all know that anyway. So they were always going to get that penalty. The way that it worked before, and if you look at number one, what's happened just before there is that Villa have got the ball out wide right. We've actually blocked them getting a cross in with Matty Cash's right foot. So what he's then had to do is then come back on his left foot and just looped it in. And like you say, the three guys who are in that circle, just on the edge of the area all by themselves, we're overloaded behind him. He should not take all of them or any one of them that long to get back in this position. Because if you look, I think it's James Garner again is the furthest to our right, sort of at the back of the area. He's just running now. He's running towards that, probably Dina, to be honest, on the left-hand side. So he's going to mark him. You've got Patterson, who seems to be also near Onana, and there's two Villa players in there, one of them which is going to head the ball. You can point at Keane again. Keane stood right next to Watkins. He just watches the ball go over, then headed back. He turns around, Watkins is gone, and he's getting clattered by Pickford. There's mistakes all over. There's a bad shape. There's a slow reaction.
It's Bailey that wins that header as well. He's not even big, is he?
Yeah,
no. Onana there next to him.
No, there's no sort of no one holding on to one another at all.
It's disgraceful, that is, for me. That's what really frustrates me, that they're not arsed.
Onana's where the ball goes. It's just frustrating.
I'm frustrated with Onana this game as well. I just think, like, for me, when picture one, when he crosses it in like that, your two centre-backs have got to be looking to get on it. I think your defensive midfielder has got to slot in with your centre-backs when he's as big as Onana. And I think he's got to be challenging them for headers as well. We know Onana can't head the ball that well. It's something he's got to improve on, because Gay and Doucouré can't head the ball either. And we need someone in front of those centre-backs to help them out sometimes and slot in and head the ball. It's just so lazy. The fact two Villa players are free like that after that cross and we haven't picked them up, and they've headed it to Watkins' feet, who also hasn't been picked up, and Watkins just has a free chance. So many errors on this. The free player standing there doing nothing, not getting back, and it fumes me. And I tell you something, we've gone 1-0 down.
Slow reactions all the time.
Yeah, it is. 1-0 down, and then you do this straight after. This is old Everton, this is, and I don't like it. And you've got to be switched on in your own, well, more switched on in your own box, Paul, than what you are in the other box. The other box is just a luxury. You either score or you don't. In your own box, you've got to be triple switched on. And it just seems like some of these Everton players, for me, are only interested in the pretty stuff up top, scoring, and they're not focusing 110%. I know Calvert-Lewin took a knock, and they all probably thought like they're scared of heading the ball, but you shouldn't be like that. No excuses on this for me. Villa was a lot more hungry. And like I say, they went 1-0. This is 2. And it was all over us. It could have been a few more, the way they started. And for saying Sean Dyche played Tarkowski and Keane, and we spoke before the game with Jamie saying we was going to be strong on set pieces and better than Villa in the air. This is just not good enough for me. So that's... Anything else to say on that? People in the comments, what's your thoughts on this one?
Yeah, should we show... sort of show a few, really.
Yeah, get the comments on. We'd like to get them involved.
Not happy. Same as the rest of us, to be honest.
It's just crap, isn't it? It's not the way we should have come out the blocks. We're not even arsed. It's not like that Arsenal game when Sean Dyche first took over and was everywhere and on it. We're just so lazy. I don't understand why, though. I want to be in the changing rooms and know what's going on, because to come out like that, They're just not hungry. They don't want to play for the shirt. They don't want to die. They ain't got the hunger for the game. Die for the frigging Everton badge. It's just not good enough. I don't like the attitude that they come out of, and I'm surprised Sean Dyche lets them get away with that. I really am. This is 29 minutes. So there was 24 there. They scored 2-0. In 29 minutes, Diaby has a chance here. I put some chances that they had because I'm trying to get how the game went for you and just pick out everything that's going wrong with Everton so we all know and can look for it and hopefully put it right. Musa Diaby shoots from... Oh, sorry. Just so I can see that. Musa Diaby shoots 29th
fall
minute.
out with you over and I think you're both agreeing, to be fair.
Yeah, Nana was... No, he's awful. Everyone was awful. The only player I liked this game was Dan Juma, by the way. And that it's just ridiculous, this game is. And we've just got to let it out and leave it on this stream now and just let it out. But yeah, Musa Diaby shoots, but the keeper saves it. Oh, this was bad as well. You remember this one?
What? Yeah, this was
again down
easy.
The right hand side. Look,
it was easy, and in fact, they let us off because when the ball comes across in picture number 2, I'm surprised he set it for someone there. I thought he was just going to shoot on his right foot.
Yeah, me.
And I'm pretty sure he would have scored, but he lays it off, and then the space is enclosed. Then there's hardly any space, so. When Diaby has a shot, he doesn't catch it right, and it also goes through about 3 players. So Pickford's got a much easier chance of saving it. So we were let off there because we could have been 3 down.
Yeah, I just want to point out. That's what I say. I don't want to just put the goals on the screen because I want to point out that we could have. It was 4-0, but it could have been a lot more. Like you just said, Paul, I think exactly the same as you. We do analyse the game properly. Once again, down the wing, you've got to stop him. Young's got to stop him from putting that cross in. We've got called out. We're 2-0 down. You've got to learn here now. We're meant to be stopping them on the wings, not just letting them cross the ball. So that picture 1, that's disgusting for me. You move on to picture 2. Like you say, he shouldn't be able to put it to his feet. We've already just said this. If a player down the wing could put it to someone's feet like that and him not being picked up, it's just not good enough. He should have shot then in picture 2. But at the end of the day, he didn't. He knocks it back. He does a good knockback. They still could have scored, by the way. It was a good shot by Diaby, but it was down the middle, wasn't it? So Pickford saves it. It's not a fantastic save, but we got let off at the hook. This is 29th minute. It should have been 3-0 for me. And I'm going to analyse this properly. I'm not being nice on Everton because we should be 3-0 down. I don't know why we're this bad defending. We're playing with Iwobi and Ashley Young. 2 of them together. Why can't they stop him from getting that crossing? I just can't accept that 2 players together can't stop him from getting that crossing, putting it to the Aston Villa players' feet there, and him knocking it off. It just looks like there's no Everton players, doesn't it, Paul? They're all ghosts. They're not having no influence on the game here, are they?
Villa have got 4 players in the box. I mean, first of all, look at that picture number 1. You know, they've got 3 up against our 4, and then by the time you get to 3, thankfully we got whoever that is on the edge of the box sort of coming back in. I think it was James Garner again. There's practically 4 on 4 there. You know, that should not be happening. We should not be getting caught out like that. And again, it comes from losing the ball inside our own half. How many times did we give it away again in those particular positions? And then Diaby or, Kamaru, whoever it is who wins it, brings them forward, just runs forward with the ball. We don't do that. What we were doing yesterday was that if we won the ball, we look for the safest option. We'll keep hold of it. Go back every single time. Then we'll pass it
just
across,
on power drive,
across the other way. Then we'll play it into the middle. Someone has a bad touch, and they do exactly the same thing again.
So this is I do proper put time into this for you people on the chat. That's why I say Toffee Bluecast is quite good because we give you a good insight of the game here. And I've got it like that. That should have been 3-0 for them. We're lucky the shot wasn't that good and it was down the middle. Now we move on to another chance here. This is 34 minutes. And this was where Lucasade down the left. I'm just going to keep calling him Lucasade because I don't want to call him by his name because I actually missed that we didn't have him this game because he was actually quite good. And we said he can be good if you let him get forward. He's not good when he defends, by the way. He's not good when you pin him back, as we learned when we had one chance probably. But if you let him get forward like this, you're playing to his strengths and it's bread and butter for him with the crossing ability that he's got. Yeah. Now, we all know he can cross fantastic, but we've just talked about letting him get crosses in, Paul. You look at picture 1, they feed him the ball there. picture 2, I think it's Patterson there. It's Patterson or James Garner. But picture 2, Patterson, I know he's got to stop him from getting the crossing. I've seen Coleman loads of times there. Just get down, slide in, block it out, goes for a corner. Just letting him get the crossing with his ability, you're in so much danger. And he's got to stop him, because I've pointed out there in picture 1, you know what he's going to do. So you've got all the time there to follow him and stop him getting the crossing. We're delayed, Patterson, on the run to him. He lets him get the crossing. He's let him get the crossing exactly how he wants. He's not blocked it off or anything. I know that picture looks like he hasn't, but the ball's already played before he goes in. He goes in late. And then when he gets the crossing, because he's been allowed to cross, now I've got a good left foot. If you say to a player with a good left foot, you can put it exactly where you want it, he will. He will. And he puts it on his foot for the volley. And it was nearly him, wasn't it? It was a good volley, that was. Very lucky there. I think Pickford put it onto the post, didn't he? It was a good save by Pickford, but that one wasn't it?
Cracking save. Great shot, cracking save, to be honest. We got away with it in off the post. It could have easily gone. So
I get what James is saying.
I was just going to say, I noticed just an awful lot. I'm surprised they didn't even use Digne more, to be honest with you. They seem reluctant to actually give Digne the ball, because we were so much over to the middle or the left-hand side. James Garner was almost playing as a fourth centre midfielder. You know, that's not. I'm not saying that's. I know Jamie's mentioning about James Garner there. I'm not saying that's all James Garner's fault. You know, because they've been drilled in a week about how to set up when Villa have got the ball in different positions. It's just generally what you would do throughout the week of training, building up for your next game. And eventually, when they did give the ball to Digne, he could have as many touches as he wanted. The cross that we've got here, they waited, then gave it to Digne, and he actually crossed it first time. Patterson was still really slow at getting across. I just think if they are going to have wingers who are going to put the balls in really quick, then the fullbacks have got to be quick. And it's their job to make sure that they can't cross it in on their strongest foot. At the very least, overcompensate and get over even more, so they then have to come in on their weaker foot.
It just
certainly better than letting them just get the cross in willy-nilly, as you say. You know,
there was no last season towards the end. I think a big part of us staying up was because the left back and the right back got back to help Coleman the right out, and the other side as well. I think the wingers did get back to help the left and right back. Sorry, but this game they didn't. James Garner, he didn't get back enough. They haven't got just. You can't expect a player to just play a different position and smash it, because a player plays a position from a kid their whole career. They know the little basics of don't let a player get crossing as a winger. I know that. I used to slide and put crunchy tackles in to stop the cross. And it felt like a goal for me when I used to play football, you know. And you see it sometimes when Coleman used to do it. Digne goes to put the cross in. You slide, you block it off. You stop him from doing what he wants. And you go and give your keeper a high five and say, right, we're not letting you play how you want to play. But Everton here have let Villa do everything they want. They've let him get the ball. They've let him put the cross in without getting closed down. His cross has gone exactly where he wants it to. And the players had a shot without even getting picked up. No point in Everton even being on the frigging pitch here, Paul. Honestly, I'm not even joking. Just because you look here, there's only 1-2 players in the box. And I know Diaby's shot looks incredible and Pickford saving it, but you've got to ask yourself, why aren't the centre-backs on him there? Why is he free? I really don't know. It just frustrates me. But yeah, James Garner, I get what you're saying. You can't knock him too much because he is playing out of position. But then you've got to do the basics on the wings and get back and help your left and right back. And I don't feel like this was done, because otherwise they won't get these crosses in.
I don't think they've got the relationship there. You know, we talked about last season where it was Iwobi on the right-hand side who was helping out Coleman and coming round, so Coleman had support, and there were few crosses coming in from that left-hand side or our right-hand side rather, because they were working as a two, which they've obviously been working really hard on. You've not got that relationship between Patterson and James Garner. James Garner, again, like you're saying, and like Jamie's mentioned as well, who's a centre mid. He should be playing where Garner Gay's playing. Do you know what I mean? He should be in that centre, actually winning the ball back and starting attacks rather than trying to chase.
I think he's getting frustrated now, you know. I think he's getting frustrated because
yeah.
because he's getting played in the wrong position. And Emma Davis has just put a comment here as well, and I agree with this comment as well. I think Keane was bad, and I do think he needs dropping. I'm not onto him. I just generally think he's not got it at the minute. And I feel sorry for Keane. It's not his fault. Dyche keeps starting him. He's probably just as confused as us. I don't know what Sean Dyche is trying to prove, but I also watched, Paul, when something happened. When Keane did something bad, it showed Branthwaite just before it, and he's got his hands on his head. He wants to be on the pitch, and it's knocking Branthwaite's confidence as well because he's just come back from a loan where he smashed goals in, won a trophy, played really well, come back to Everton. He could have got sold, by the way, but Everton have told him he's going to play. Come back to Everton, and we're benching him. And I've been there before. It's not nice being on the bench. You just want to play football, and it's probably knocking his confidence. You could have come back and kept his confidence, put Branthwaite on the pitch, and had a cracking player from the go. He could have probably made us get some results these last 2 games if Branthwaite played instead of Keane. But instead, we're leaving him on the bench. It's knocking his confidence. And then you're going to put him in the Everton zone where he's got low confidence when he comes back in. There's a lot of pressure on him. We should have just played him first game and see how we went on, then brought Keane in if he was struggling. I feel Dyche has got it wrong there for me. What's your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I mean, this isn't new. Keane's time with us. I mean, he has had some decent spells, but they're few and far between. He ends up doing something that you think, all right, maybe he's going to turn a corner now and it'll be okay. But then he goes through these times. He's been with us quite a few years now, and I'm sure I can count at least 2 or 3 times when he's been a really low ebb where he's been getting lots of hassle from the fans and stuff. I saw a stat in the week. I took a picture of it because I knew it would come up. So in 20 games under Dyche, when Keane started, we played 12. We've won 1 of those, supposedly. Drawn 5, lost 6. So that's 8 points from 36. And we conceded 25 goals. We only kept 2 clean sheets. The games where he hasn't started, we've played 8. We won half of those. We've drawn 1, we've lost 3. We've got 13 points from 24. Conceded 9 goals. That's the biggest difference, I think.
Dyche is cracking
same
stats
as
there.
Is it time to take him out? I think there's time to, like Mopé, time to take him out. You're not carrying on with something that's not working is not helping the player, is not helping your reputation with the fans, is not helping the rest of the team.
I think this is true as well.
Branthwaite in, or he puts someone else in. When you see someone else play alongside Tarkowski other than Keane, the first thing I'll be looking for will be the body language from the other players.
It just spreads. How are they
going to be moving?
I just think sometimes when you've got Keane at the side, when things ain't going, you'll blame him, and it just spreads because it's happened so many times. And I just think Branthwaite's a new player in there. And this comment kind of goes with that. Emma Davis has just said mistakes by Branthwaite can be forgiven easily by the fans, and it's true. The fans will get behind him more because they don't want Michael Keane in the squad. I know that's bad to say, but it's true because they want Branthwaite to play. They're not going to jump on him because they know Keane's coming in. So Branthwaite will get the patience from the fans, and it will just give the fans a boost as well. So I just think Sean Dyche not using that weapon is stupid. And like you've just said with Mopé as well, he needs to come off. His confidence ain't there. He can get it later on in the season when we're on top. But I think when these games are important, like they've been, Mopé isn't the answer. Hopefully Shea Adams gets done now and it takes a bit of weight off Mopé's shoulders and he can go and sort out whatever he needs to do because he just needs to go and just get it drilled. Like his finishing just isn't there. This is a chance now. This is the end of the first half, 47th minute. We actually have a shot on target, by the way. This is how bad we are. It takes us till 47 minutes, I think, to get up the pitch. And this is when Calvert-Lewin come off before us. And I just want to say, by the way, there's 2 things. I should have said this at the start of the channel, by the way. There's still plenty on, 11 on, by the way. Like and subscribe. But I just want to say, that comment to Onana was disgusting. Onana played poor. And I'm still talking about his performance, trust me, and I'll still hit his performance. He played poor. But that comment that Onana got, I'm not even going to say the comment, but the comment that he got was disgusting. And that person is not part of any Everton fans, I tell you. It's disgusting. We've all called him out on it, but it needs to stop. You talk about our players' performance like we do now. Look at a player's performance. Talk about how they play. Tell them to get better. Tell them they ain't good enough. But I tell you something, calling players' names and stuff like that and just using the abuse that they've got the last couple of games is disgusting. And it just needs to stop for me. It's just stupid, isn't it, Paul? It's getting a bit toxic now, isn't it? It's getting a bit too bad.
Yeah, it's also, I mean, it's the same as, nothing new. It's the same as the news, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? When there's one story about something that happens, however small, there'll be another story that is similar in the few days after. Do you know what I mean? And then they'll jump on it. So the thing about the comment about Mopé, which was supposedly done by someone claiming to be a Fulham fan, was jumped on. That was massive. And then there's one thing sent to Onana, which is then made, which is thrown out there as well. And it's just an ongoing thing. It's just that the players are calling out more, which is right. I just think that the fan base as a whole is getting lambasted for it. And it's not necessarily always true Everton fans. I think we can agree on that. People who are actually true Blues.
Idiots in all fan bases, and we are, like I say, racial abuse is something we will never, ever take in our fan base. Never, ever. And I hope they do a banner for Onana saying we support you on that. It's disgusting. You don't deserve stuff like that, because the comment was disgusting. And just want to put, I should have said that at the start, because we just don't tolerate stuff like that. Just needs to focus on the football. I tell you something, just focus on the football. Don't give players abuse like that. And Calvert-Lewin, that's what started me off with the Onana thing, because Calvert-Lewin did come off before this. And I also seen that Calvert-Lewin got a lot of stick when he come off.
Yeah, weird that.
Yeah, that really frustrated me, because he's nearly broke his cheekbone. He can't see out of his eye. He's got the person to check his eye. And I honestly do. I feel that when you looked at Calvert-Lewin, he looked like he was in a lot of pain. He was scared because he's nearly been knocked out. You could see Calvert-Lewin's not a confident, cocky person. He's been nearly knocked out. He wants to come off, but he's scared to come off because he knows people are going to be on his case if he don't stay on, because he's got this injury record. And then Calvert-Lewin's dad in the stadium said he was in tears when he got knocked like that, but the abuse he got from the fans. And I did hear a lot of Everton fans was slating Calvert-Lewin because they said they didn't know what the injury was, but I think you should find out before you're jumping on him like that.
Exactly.
He had to come off there.
I mean, his face had caved in.
Yeah.
For Christ's sake. Do you know what I mean? What do you want him to do? Go up and win a load of headers after doing that? The guy couldn't see.
It's hard to run about like that. It's hard to run about like that. We want him to die for the shirt, but come on, seriously, it's not good for your health to run around like that.
The thing is as well, it happened obviously with the collision with Martinez. If he'd just been flat out there, no one would have said anything. Would they? No one would have said anything about him. Oh, he should have played on, blah, blah. But he knocked out on the floor. Do you know what I mean? He should have just stayed there, because no one would have said anything. And he's been knocked out. Well, you can't play on then, can you? But because he got up and he tried to play through a broken cheekbone, he's then getting hassled for then going off sooner.
Yeah, because they think he can stay on just because he got up. Yeah, that's what I say. It's getting a bit... I didn't like it. When I come out of that game, I didn't like the feeling after. I didn't. I think it's becoming a bit too toxic. Focus on the football and the game and stuff like that. Don't abuse the players. Just seriously, don't abuse the players like that. It's just too much, that is, for me. You look at his face. He can't play on, simple.
Yeah.
Some people are just... And then someone even on my Twitter said to me, and I didn't even comment back, he goes, he shouldn't be going in for that. Stupid going in for that challenge. It's his fault he did that. I was like, oh my God, you'd moan if he didn't frigging try. Then you moan when he tries. You can't win. But here's a chance now. We're coming to the end of the first half. Go on.
Yeah, sorry, go on. I was just gonna address that. Wanderlust is just saying, was he knocked out? He wasn't actually knocked out. What I was saying is that if it was a scenario where he just went off straight away after that collision, then no one would have been having a go at him, But because he tried to get up and then carried on and then went off, getting abuse of that is even more ridiculous. So there you go. Yeah, go on. Dan Juma's chance.
That's true. At least he tried. Yeah, but we're on Dan Juma's chance now. Dan Juma's come on for Calvert-Lewin, which I'm happy with. I thought it was going to be Mopé at first. Dan Juma looked quite lively when he come on. Looks like he wants to do something. No players in the Everton 11 up until this moment, showed that they actually want to win the game. They just let Aston Villa completely do what they want to do. Dan Juma, come on. Nice 1-2. Was it with Garner there? Garner that puts him through.
James Garner on the edge of the box, I think.
Yeah, that's what you want Garner doing. In the centre of midfield, he's the only player that can find a pass, cut open a team. He does this, James Garner does. Does what he does here. Cuts it through. Dan Juma's in. This is what we're crying out for. This sort of play. We need to get up the pitch and play this sort of play. We need someone that can pass the ball through in the middle, like James Garner's just done. Don't see other players that we've got in the centre making these passes that he's made here, James Garner. Put him through. Dan Juma's shot. The angle's not that good, but he has a shot. Keeper, good save. And that's our first shot on target.
Yeah. You got to have the movement to be able to create those chances as well. Dan Juma, when he came on, looked as though he wanted to try and make something happen. You know, he just didn't have a lot of support to do it. This was one of the few times that it actually paid off.
Yeah, I do think he looked lively, and I do think he's going to be good. He was the only positive for me out of this game. That is the first half, by the way. We're going to go through the second half now. I think I've got 4 clips on the second half. We will analyse them, and then we'll have a little speech at the end. Comment there, Emma Davis has just said on what we was just talking about. It's the board's fault for putting the weight of the club on DCL. So I completely agree. He shouldn't feel like he has to play there. I think he feels like he has to play because we haven't got a striker, and he knows the importance of him playing. He just tried to stop on. I could see that he wanted to come off, and he would come off if there was a striker to come on for him straight away because he's being smashed up there. On to the second half now then, Paul. What was your thinking here then?
Well, I mean...
Turn it off. Turn it off.
You think, oh, God. How long
Jamie probably had it off by now. I think he had it off 50th minute.
I think the most that any of us hoped would happen would be that they came out and gave a better representation of themselves and tested the keeper. And unfortunately, neither of those things happened.
It's 51 minutes. Everton have come out. We're going to come out better now. This is what we're going to do.
Yeah.
No, we don't. Of course, we don't. 3-0. 51 minutes. Leon Bailey.
Yeah.
Look, do you know what? It's not a cross this time. But I've done some good stuff for you on the channel here, people. This is why it's Toffee Bluecast. Like and subscribe. It's a good channel, right? Look at those 2 players. I put the arrow on them there. This is just stuff that people sometimes won't notice. I know some will because we're all good football frigging watchers. But look at those 2 players there running from that throw-in. It's a quick throw-in. And there's 2 players again. We spoke earlier on the first half. There was 2 players free. There's 2 players free there running. Lazy again. I'm not sure that. I think it's Onana maybe there. Not tracking them, Paul. And they're making that run. And then when you're in trouble and you've got 2 players making a dangerous run and there's a quick throw like that, what do you need? Number 2. Picture number 2. Michael Keane to come over and do a cracking pass to Bailey's feet in front of goal. I mean, I don't know what the commentator said there. Michael Keane's just got to put his foot through the ball. I don't know what he's trying to do. He's trying to, it's like he's hitting the volley sort of clearance in the box, but he's kind of hitting it to try and pass it. Just hoof it out of the stadium. You're in danger there. You've got all the Villa players coming onto you like that. He's got to hoof it out, and Michael Keane's just literally knocked it in the direction to Bailey's feet and put him in that position in picture 3 in front of the goal. And the shot's not that good. I think Pickford should have saved it, Paul, because it's straight down the middle, but it's just
Pickford would be annoyed. He's probably not expecting it straight at his feet, to be honest. He's probably expecting it to go either side.
Yeah, but, I think it's caught him on that,
in one way, you've got the 2 Villa players. One of them was already there, and I think whoever it was, whether it be Bailey or otherwise, has then run past Onana away from... God, I mean, there's so much of an open gap. Keane, when Dini's taken the throw in, Keane's already behind Patterson. They're doing that thing of Keane's going to have, I presume that's Watkins in that situation out in the corner. Patterson's going to stand in front of him, so Watkins isn't going to get to the ball. But what they do is just leave a huge gap. Tarkowski's not set for that at that point. So there's just a huge area for Digne to throw the ball into. And Keane, I don't know. I wondered whether he was trying to bring it down with his right foot, but he just ended up studding it towards space, and then Bailey just runs onto it. But again, it's similar to the first goal. It's just criminal in so many ways, and it's not all Keane's fault. It's the whole defence. It's just that the bit that you would pick out would again be the touch that lays it off for Bailey.
Everything's wrong, but as a defender, you've got to save these moments, and Keane is the one that kicks it straight. He's got to clear it out of the stadium there. Like you say, he kicks it like I've seen Michael Keane do this so much, where he kicks it and it's just it goes into the opposition's feet and the score. It's just a stuck in the mud police academy moment by Michael Keane. It's just not good. I get what you're saying. There's a lot of players out of position. There's a lot of players you've got to say it's just not good enough. There's so many alarm bells around this. When you look at that picture one, they're all lazy, not marking, leaving stuff. It's not just Michael Keane, but like you say, he's the one that gets closest to the ball to save all this bad movement from the Everton players. And does he save it? No, he doesn't. And I just think sometimes your centre-backs have just got to save you there when things are going wrong and just clear it, and you can get away with it. Don't always have to pay for bad stuff, do we? And I just think Keane makes us pay for bad stuff here and puts it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Tarkowski looks as though he's running into that space to stop that pass becoming anything. And then he sees Keane, who's also seen that space, who's then coming out from behind Patterson to again get the touch. So actually the space then ends up exactly where Bailey's going to run to. So there's no anticipation. There's no
emergency. That's the thing. Like no urgency,
no fast reaction.
Yeah, fast reaction.
Anana's still on the edge of the box when Bailey scores. Do you know what I mean? It's just
they all look like they've had a bit of hanky panky the night before, Paul. They just thought
it must have been a lot. It must have been a lot then because they
all got lucky the night before. Because I tell you something, they all look like they're frigging had the brains fried. I tell you, because they're just not switched on. They're not switched on, and they're just lazy. And it was like it from minute one. And I don't like this. I really don't like this. Sean Dyche talked about mentality away. It was disgusting. Really wasn't. Didn't come out the blocks. They're lazy, and I don't know why. And I'd have a big bollocking with these players. I'd love to be in the changing room because don't put that Everton shirt on if you're going to turn up and you can't be arsed. That's one thing I will say. Seriously, because the way they play, just basic stuff like me, you used to do Sunday League, Paul, just track the player, goal side, grab him tight, little basic things that could, all of these goals that we've gone through so far, this is what 3-0 could have been stopped. All of them. Pathetic defending by us. It's not that Villa was amazing. It's that Everton was poor. I know when you break it down, you can always find things, but these are poor things from us, isn't it, Paul?
Yeah, Villa couldn't believe their luck. That's all, really. And we
played into their hands.
We just handed it to them on a plate. You know,
this is a chance after that. The 3-0 up now. You want Everton to react. You want us to be better. This is a chance after. We'll get through these quick now. We'll have a little thing. We'll hit an hour. We'll finish. Like and subscribe. Ollie Watkins, 57th minute. I can't believe he misses this.
No, he'd be annoyed. He'd be annoyed missing it.
Can't believe he misses that. And look at us again, though. Like, you look at him, he's got the ball there. He's got the option down the right, and he's got the option of playing the ball to Ollie Watkins through the middle. He goes the ball that's closer to goal, and obviously Watkins misses it and hits it left of the post. But he could have they could have scored twice in this situation. Our defending's that bad. Got massively caught out here again.
Well, we did, and they again. The situation before that, I don't know if it's Diaby who plays the ball through for him, but that player's already run 35 yards with the ball. You know, it's not even a case of we've been able to change where they're running. They've literally run in a straight line, and we've just left the gap between our two defenders there for him just to play the ball into. You know, there's no sort of communication between the defenders. And even when whoever it is on our right-hand side, it might be Patterson, who's trying to track Ollie Watkins across, he's still 5 yards away from him when he actually gets the shot.
Yeah, so there's no die to stop it. There's no frigging... It's just
It might be Keane, actually. It might be Keane, actually, who's going across with Ollie Watkins.
It very likely is. It very likely is. We've got another clip here. It's a drainer. You've got to get through it. You've got to analyse it properly. This was 60th minute. Paul's favourite player. We all getting through it. Coming to an end. We'll give a good speech at the end, so stay with us, like and subscribe. 60th minute. I think we had a corner, didn't we? And that's a Mopé chance. I thought he was going to score that, did you? Just put it into chill.
I thought, what the hell's going on here? Yeah, you know what? It'd be like us to get bloody hammered and him to get a consolation goal.
He just can't score, though, can he? Anything he hits is just... Sometimes you can just hit a
Good
shot
save.
long and it go in.
You know, it's just...
But just sometimes when you've had as many...
He's actually found a decent space.
Yeah.
You know.
He did try when he come on. But sometimes when you've had as many shots as Mopé has, you wouldn't believe he could miss this much, would you? But yeah, that was Mopé's shot, 60th minute. We had Danjuma, and then that. This is how bad we are. We've got nothing to put on the screen from us. It's all Aston Villa stuff, which I don't like. That's Mopé's chance. Probably could have scored it if he hit it right, but he didn't hit it bad. He got a connection on it, so I'm not going to grill him too much on that one. This is disgusting. The last clip I'm going to put up, and then we'll have a little say. This, I tell you something. Ashley Young just wants to put Keane in the grave here. He really does.
You know,
I've never.
When this guy comes on, and the commentator said, "Oh God, so good they named him twice or something because his name's Duran," and he said he's not scored yet. Nailed on, absolutely nailed on, and the camera cut away, didn't it? As well, it wasn't even.
I kept trying to get a picture. I kept trying to get a picture of Young doing the throw-in to say how bad the throw-in was, and it doesn't even show Young in the highlights doing the throw-in. That's how bad it is. You can't even see Young's throwing in the highlights to jump on Young here because it's that fast. They don't even think Young's going to do that. I think they're going up the pitch. I think they think Ashley Young's going to throw it up the pitch and don't think he's going to do what he does. He throws it to Michael Keane. He obviously is best mates with Michael Keane and thinks he's better than what he is and thinks he can control it in this danger zone. And Keane fuffles it, doesn't he? And then he's in. Simplest goal ever.
Young, I mean, he plays it in the direction of Keane. Keane's 50 yards away. Young tries to throw the ball to Keane's feet from 50 yards, and the guy he's got his tail up already. He's come on. He wants to run around for a bit and gets there before Keane, who's played a full game and might well go with his wrong foot. To be honest, you know, it's all just bad decision making.
I laughed and tweeted. I said, I think Ashley Young's had enough of Keane. I know they're good mates, but I think he's had enough of him and wants to get him off here. So he's chucked it to Keane's feet to set him up, to make him mess it up and then score and think, right, get Braithwaite on with Tarkowski because Keane's just doing me in here. But yeah, Young was awful as well. Young was really bad this game, and I've been massively impressed with Ashley Young and praised him. Everyone was awful this game. I can't, other than Danjuma coming on, I can't pick one good player, and that's just so bad to say. Like generally, I can't think of anything anyone did. We put two chances on the screen. That's it, isn't it, Paul? It's bad, wasn't it? This was
pretty much. Danjuma and Dobbin, guys who were on the bench, guys who got pace, guys who want to get forward, didn't start, and for whatever the argument is for them not to do that, then that's fine. But it's a shame that it's two subs who are the best players that have performed. And
I wanted them to start.
Good.
We all wanted Danjuma and Dobbin. We didn't mention Dobbin much, but we would have rather Dobbin start on the wings if we knew we didn't have much options. Because we know Iwobi on the wings and we know James Garner on the wings is not going to push, like we said, their right back and left back. We know they ain't because they're just going to get forward because they know they're not going to hit them fast. And I think when you put Danjuma on, he asked a couple of questions. He ran at him. He made him Cash think, whoa. He did him a couple of times, Cash, Danjuma down that left. Yeah. Because he started up front, but then he moved on the left and then Cash thought, right, I've got to do my work now. Just by putting Danjuma on, it made Cash have a game. It stopped him having a holiday, basically. And I just think we should have put Dobbin on because you knew Dobbin could hurt Lucasade. And you should have put on the other side Danjuma because you knew Danjuma could do Cash like he did. James Garner on the right doesn't work for me anymore. I'm sorry. Yes, we play. Our players are struggling to be the best in their natural positions. So playing them out of position, you're in trouble. The Premier League is an intense league. Everyone's really good. You can't play a player there out of position and then be up to standard on it. I don't think now watching it. I think James Garner, he can play there one game and maybe get away, but over time you're seeing he's not a right winger, ain't you? That's the thing, because he doesn't do the tracking back. And I think Iwobi was a bit lazy this game. I'm not quite sure why. He's not normally lazy. He normally gets back a bit more to help Young, and he just didn't do the tracking back on those crosses for me. So I wasn't happy with the right winger and the left winger. And then also, we couldn't put two passes together in the centre of midfield. So I think you've got to move James Garner in the centre of midfield, because we showed on that Dan Juma chance, he's probably the only person that can... Well, there was a moment, think about this, and it was where I thought we might be okay. At the start of the game, there was a ball where Garner got it, and he switched it to Iwobi, and he put Iwobi in. And he just a wicked pass. He cut in, switched it from the centre of midfield to Iwobi. Iwobi squares up one-on-one and loses it. But I just think that James Garner's got that ability in the middle that we haven't got. Doucouré's an engine, not got good passing ability. Onana's an engine, simple passing ability. And Garner Gay, we know his passing ability isn't that good, another kind of engine sort of thing. James Garner's, we've got to put him in the middle now for me. And I hope to see that next. I think the winger thing's done now. How do you feel on that?
I think
all right,
if Patterson's got attacking ability, we're not seeing it, because it's not being accessed. You know, if James Garner is going to play right midfield, I can only assume it's because we want to see Patterson overlap and get up the wing. Whereas it doesn't seem to be happening. I mean, it was Villa away. Villa are a good side. Don't forget that. I think we've maybe chosen some of the wrong positions, some of the wrong tactics against a team who are a good side with good players, and they're up there at the moment in confidence. I know they got hammered by Newcastle, but it's Newcastle and it's one game. Do you know what I mean? Emery's a good manager as well. In their journey, they're kind of up there at the moment, and we're just kind of doing that.
Well,
I think there's players who are better in their natural positions, and I don't think they're playing everyone in their natural position.
No, I completely agree. I think we've got to just get things right now. And we need to change. It's kind of crazy because I went on a space after the game and it's like, I'm fuming. I think we performed the worst I've ever seen Everton play. I think we should have won the first game. I was happy with it. I think we've been crap the next one, awful against Aston Villa. And I go on a space and someone's like, we're getting relegated. I'm not even thinking, we're 2 games in. I'm not even thinking about relegation. I'm thinking about sort that performance out. That was disgusting. Talking about relegation 2 games in. There's loads to be done yet. We've still got Dele Alli to hopefully see, which I think watching that game, Paul, we need Dele Alli to come back. He might be the spark we need in that number 10 position that can get on the ball and move it. I feel we've got, obviously, Adams might come in. Yeah. Harrison, I feel, will be big. Nonto or Soleimani we might sign. There's loads of moves that are going to be made. That game isn't what you're going to see. That isn't like us at our best. What you're going to see every week. You'd like to think we can be a lot better than that. Well, we was Fulham. So I wouldn't dwell on that performance too much. That's what I'm trying to say. We finish it positive here. Paul will give his speech as well. I wouldn't dwell on that performance. I think you just need to just like isolate yourself from that. And Everton, I'm hoping they will give us something back after that, because that was disgusting for us to watch. But I don't think talk about relegation battles 2 games in. I really don't.
No. I mean, take them in isolation. Yes, Fulham at home was a good performance. We shouldn't have got a defeat. We should have got at least a point, but it happens. Villa away, not a good record. Villa, good side. We're playing awful. Okay, an away defeat. You know, you look at if they were separate at different times of the season, you wouldn't let it bother you so much. Do you know what I mean? If they were surrounded by a couple of draws and a win here and there, it wouldn't feel as bad. But because it's the first 2 games, and because we're coming off the back of 2 seasons of similar results and relegation,
they're always going to talk about it. You've been in it, yeah,
and everything else. Then fair enough, forget it. But try your best to take it in isolation. Wolves at home next. They're in as shite a state as we are.
They've also lost 2 games as well, but people only seem to talk about us. They've done exactly the same as us.
I mean, our next 3 games are Wolves at home, and then we've got Doncaster away, League Cup, and then we've got Sheffield United away. You know,
just
if we do
reset.
get a couple of signings in, and he actually lets them play instead of keeping them on the bench or not in the squad for a month, then we might have a chance of picking up a couple of back-to-back wins. That'd be nice.
The good thing is, and so someone said, it's interesting to see Dan put a positive spin on it. A game that we probably would have lost anyway, it's kind of made Sean Dyche think, I think we'll see a few changes. Sean Dyche at the end of the game said that he said at the end, didn't he? Danjuma and Dobbin was already in the thinking, but there were a lot more in the thinking after this game. So hopefully a few things have changed. The keen thing we're yet to see, I want to see Branthwaite in. Surely we've just gone through the game. They do the same thing. They analyze the game like us with the clips. Surely they're just going to keep they're going to keep seeing what Michael Keane's getting wrong and have no choice but to leave him out. Someone put on Twitter, Dyche left Keane out in the biggest games we had to stay up. Why has he not learned to not play him? There must be a reason he left him out. If Keane's that good and Dyche trusts him that much, then why did Dyche leave him out on the games that we needed to play our best at the end of the season to stay up? It doesn't make sense to me. It doesn't. Maybe Dyche thinks after a preseason he's got Keane back to where he is. Dyche needs to get out his head for me that Keane is that Burnley player that he loved and that he sold for a lot of money and everybody thought was good. He just judge the players on the way they're performing and don't have favourites for me. That's what I'm going to say on Michael Keane. But
I agree.
Yeah. Right, everybody. We're ending this. I hope you're feeling. Just forget about it. Go out tomorrow. Have a good day. Separate yourselves from Everton. And we'll be back next game. We'll beat Wolves. And then we've won 1, lost 2. It's not that bad. Then we crack on. We've still got loads of games. Don't worry about it. Don't get overstressed. Don't stress yourself out more than what you need to. And up them fucking Toffees. Have a boss one, everyone. And Paul had a wicked banner, but you ain't got it, have you, Paul?
I haven't got it. I'll put it on next time.
We've got a good banner next time to make everyone feel better.